This podcast is part of the Soul Zone Network.
Hello, and welcome to the Butterfly Connection.
Connecting your soul to source with Molly Rahe-Randall and Sara Courtney.
We are all connected, and we are not alone. What if you could rebirth your soul, gain movement in your life, and reconnect with your authentic self?
Join us each week as we connect with Source to answer the burning questions that lie deep within us and gain clarity and wisdom to soar to our greatest potential.
It's time to fly.
This is BK8, Connecting to Angels and Guides. Hello, it's Molly and Sara.
Hi, everyone.
Back again for another fantastic week of words and wisdom from Source and our guides and angels. Thank you so much for tuning in yet another week with us. And if you listened to our last podcast, Disconnect to Reconnect, we already gave you a heads up of what we would be talking about today. So today is just going to be a little bit more of an elaboration on how you can connect with your angels and your guides and source.
Yes, and last week I mentioned how each of us connects in different ways and mentioned how it's could be something as simple as just a sign or something that you notice in your daily routine that seems different, or the continuation of a number over and over again that you see. There are so many ways that we can connect with our angels and guides. And we talked about also last week how you have to clear out the noise of the life that you have and all of the daily grind in order to get to this point.
Yes, and even in terms of clearing out the clutter to get there, I want to take this one step further and say you have to also have an intention to create a relationship with the angels and guides and source. The incredible thing is they are there. They're always there. Whether you know they're there or not, they are there. And they are waiting for you to ask them to have a relationship or to ask them for guidance. You know, there are always angels around us, and they will help us in any way we need, but we have to ask. So let's talk a little bit about how to even developing a relationship with your angels and guides.
Yes, I'd like to mention just my first experiences connecting to my angels and guides. It was after I had realized that I had spiritual gifts, and it was like somebody turned a light on. It was like a light bulb moment. And I was sitting in my house, and as Molly said, you have to set the intention. So I pretty much talked out loud. My son was asleep, and I just said, if you're here, I'm noticing that you are there. I am ready to allow whatever it is that you need to say or have me feel to happen. And I felt it in multiple different ways. I kind of felt presence. I heard words in my head. Sometimes I would see flashes. But I think calling the intention, meaning calling your angels and guides in, is an important first step.
Absolutely. And also recognizing that you might have had somewhat of a connection with them even before you even knew it. So for instance, you know how they always say that little voice inside of your head? That's them. That's the little voice inside of your head. Oh, wait a minute, slow down. You're driving and you hear this, you need to slow down, and you instinctively slow down. And there's something coming ahead of you that if you would not have slowed down, it could have been serious. Or just, you're thinking, oh, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Is this something that's good for me? And you might just kind of either feel like it's a yes or feel like it's no, or even hear it inside your head. You're not crazy. If you're hearing those little voices or we're hearing those little voices, you're not crazy. They're there guiding you along the way. And even from a physical aspect, how many times, I know I have done this one too many times to my liking, have you gone up the steps and accidentally almost like missed a step, or you could feel yourself starting to go backwards? And suddenly, somehow, there's almost like a push on your back that straightens you up and allows you to continue to move forward. That's them. And it's amazing because once you realize that they have your back, literally, it is the most joyous, comforting feeling. It is a true feeling that you are not alone.
Yes, and to piggyback off of that, not just in the physical way, but angels and guides come to us through people. They come to us through, gee, I haven't talked to my good friend in forever. I wonder how she's doing. And all of a sudden you get a phone call from that person and they have just the right words for you, just the right thing that you need to hear at that moment. Or you could be walking down the street and go into a store and you're having a really bad day and you get in the line to get a coffee and you find out that the person in front of you has bought your coffee for you. We call that pay it forward, and there is some givingness to that. But I truly believe that that is also the angels guiding us or providing us what we need in so many different beautiful ways.
Yes. They are such a major support system for us, whether we're aware of it or not. And the other thing, too, besides the physical and the hearing and, maybe thinking about it and seeing a friend, is also while we're sleeping. Our dreams, those dreams that you have that feel so real to you, where you might be like working through a situation, or you might see a loved one come along, or you might have some kind of conversation in your dream that is comforting to you. That is also your angels and guides and source and your family line that has passed. They're all coming to you through your dreams as well to help you to heal.
Yes, not only to heal, but even sometimes to send us messages. I've had some amazing dreams where I would wake up in the morning and I have a journal next to my bed if I ever have an interesting dream, and I would be writing and writing and writing and writing and find out that there was a message that was so important that I needed to know. Not necessarily like, oh, I'm going to figure out that something's going to happen in the future. That's not what message I mean. I mean something as simple as you are loved, or hey, chin up. So it could be anything in there, but it's important to write your dreams down, especially when you wake up and remember most of it.
Yes. And it's amazing too, because if you start creating a dream journal and write down your dreams, it might not mean anything to you at the time that you're having the dream, but you might come back later on where something reminds you in real life of like the dream or a situation or anything like that. And you can go back and go, wait, I think I had a dream about that. And it's literally in the journal. Now, some of you might be saying right now, I don't remember my dreams at all. How am I wake up and they go away. One thing that you can do if you want to have help with remembering your dreams, especially if you feel like it was a significant message for you, is simply ask before you go to bed. You could ask your angels and guides, is there any messages or words of wisdom or love and support that you have for me tonight? And if you give me a dream about it, please allow me to remember when I wake up.
Yes, that is absolutely an amazing thing to do. I also think that this can apply to the waking life too. If you don't feel like dreams are something that you have very often or remember very often, what if there's something significant that happens in your daily life? I mean, I don't know if many people do this, but I keep a little tiny notebook inside my purse. And sometimes I'll even pull that out and jot that down. But if you don't have time, I think any kind of writing that you do to remember these amazing little things that happen would be helpful. And also, I also want to mention journaling. I know we've talked about the guided journaling exercises that we do. And guided meaning there's questions, there's things that we're kind of helping you along the way in each of our podcasts. But there's also something known as free write journaling. And in that, you ask your angels and guides to come in and you just write what comes to your mind, or you ask for guidance on a specific situation. And some people call it channel writing, but I think that's another example of a way that you can connect to your angels and guides.
Yes. And many times when you do free write, you don't really realize what you're saying. And I know for me personally, a lot of messages from my angels and guides have come through the free writing. And I can really decipher if it's me or not, because my handwriting will actually change. And as I read it back, I can feel this essence of love and support surrounding me. And I know it's them that is speaking through me through word on a page.
Yes, absolutely. One thing that I would like to mention is I know that it's not for all of us to, sit down and listen and feel and call in angels and guides. And you may not even know what exactly that is or what that means. But I just want to point out that it doesn't have to be or look a specific way. I think this is more so about the energy and the essence of our belief in source of something higher than us. And knowing that support system is there, it doesn't have to be labeled in any way. You don't have to have an angel that's got brown hair and wears, black shoes. It doesn't have to be that specific. So I want to point that out because I know a lot of us have to be able to physically see. And this is more of a spiritual belief system and connection than it is something that is physical and tangible.
Yes, it's very much an energetic knowing.
Yes.
The other thing that Sara was saying about talking to the angels, you don't have to talk to them out loud in order to connect with them. You can talk to them in your head. If this is something where you're like, oh, but what if I decide to talk out loud to an angel and somebody walks in the room and thinks I'm crazy because I'm talking to myself? That's not what this needs to look like. You can literally be driving down the street, or you can get in the car for a long trip and silently in your head say, God, source, angels, whoever you want to talk to, please keep me safe or my family safe during this trip in our car. You don't have to even say it out loud. They hear you. They have the ability to hear your thoughts. They have the ability to hear you verbally. And in essence, don't think that they're listening to you all the time, because it's not like that either. They're waiting for you to ask them for whatever it is that you need.
Yes, because angels won't just, show up with $50,000. They might be.
Can we make that happen?
I mean, yes, you can talk to them in your mind, and you can communicate in all sorts of ways. But it's not like rubbing the lamp and getting the genie either. Angels are waiting for you to acknowledge their presence. They're waiting for you to ask them for help when you need help. And it's also about, please, give me spiritual abundance, whatever it may be that you're asking. They're waiting for you to acknowledge them so that they can help you.
Yes. And also, you can say, please give me spiritual abundance. Please guide me in this way. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be a quick snap of a finger and your world is going to look like magical with rainbows and unicorns and glitter. and all of those fantastic things. Because you also have to remember when we are asking our guides and angels and source for love and support or protection or safety, like if the process of what you need to do for your soul to grow is to learn and figure out how to acquire $50,000 in order to make that happen, they're not going to magically show you a money tree hidden in the deep, dark depths of the forest. It's the little ways that they help you along the way to even acquire finances, as, financial abundance as one example.
Right. And of course, we've been saying that this is all spiritually connected. This isn't tangible, but it's also about faith too. When we might not see the bigger picture. Why is that person calling and asking me to be on this project? Oh, I've got too much on my plate. So sometimes it's hard to see the things that are right in front of you are going to lead to something that you desire or feel would help you in your life, because it is hard to see down the road, but they can. And so the faith is believing that there is a good reason why things fall into place, why things line up the way that they do. And I think that's one of the biggest ways that our angels and guides help us.
And as we become more connected to our angels and guides and to source, as we start to develop a relationship with them and know that they're there and communicate with them, it is amazing how you can start to see the blessings that are in your life.
Yes. And that is definitely how that connects, because having angels and guides is a blessing too. And I just want to make one note too. We're talking a lot about angels and guides, but talking about angels and guides is talking about source, is talking about our energetic connection to the beyond, to that energetic source or place, however you view it. So it's not like they're all separate entities. They're all one energy, one and the same. It's just one way that we can view that energy so that we can find our faith.
Absolutely. We are doing an affirmation challenge this month. So please hop over to our Facebook group, The Butterfly Connection. And you can also check us out on our website, The Butterfly Connection, KINECTION.com, where you can check out our guided journaling video. You can check out our how to smudging video. You can check out the I Love You More class. These are all free. And as always, we will have a guided journaling exercise for you that you can download from our website.
Yes, absolutely. We are here to help you on your journey. And each week, we try to provide a connection and information to help you to shift your energy and to help your soul to grow.
Yes, because we all are on this path together of spiritual awakening, spiritual awareness, and spiritual connectedness to our highest selves. Well, thank you so much for listening. We will be back again next week. We hope you have a fantastic and blessed week.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to The Butterfly Connection with Molly Rahe-Randall and Sara Courtney.
Check out our website at thebutterflyconnection.com and download our free weekly guided journaling exercises.
We would love to hear from you. Subscribe to our podcast and give us a review. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest.
And join us next week for another soul-connecting conversation.